Hello. We're having a snack. We're having pretzels and coffee and water. So I wanted to do an update, a quick update, just about where I'm at with things, what's been going on. It is Monday morning. It's a rainy, dreary, gross Monday morning, but I got all my weekly cleaning done on the weekend, which I never do. But I actually did do that this week. So I don't have as much to do. So I wanted to do like an update video. Today is Monday, which means I roll over to 25 weeks, which I'm super excited about. This is not a pregnancy update video though. I'm going to be doing that on Wednesday. And the reason that I'm doing that on Wednesday is because tomorrow is Tuesday. Today's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Okay. I go for my ultrasound and my doctor's appointment. So I just feel like I'll just do all that on Wednesday, and we'll do a full bump date, and we'll talk about pregnancy symptoms like I normally do. We'll talk about new developments, and then we'll talk about the ultrasound and the doctor's appointment and what all was said and, you know, how that goes. I'm very anxious for this. I'm excited and I'm anxious at the same time. Like, I'm excited. I guess I should say I'm excited and I'm nervous. But anyway, I'm so glad that tomorrow's the day. I'm so glad that we're doing this tomorrow. If you don't remember or you didn't watch that video, this ultrasound was supposed to be this week, but I originally scheduled it for like next week because of scheduling stuff. And then schedule changed, and then I moved it up to this week. And I'm grateful that I did that, actually. I'm glad. So we're going to talk about just like kind of an overall of everything. Life has been a little bit crazy lately. I have been marking things off of this list, and then I've added more. I don't know if you can see that. Like, this side only had like one thing on it, and then I added more. But it's okay. More or less just reminders. Everything in the green will be done pretty soon. This was awful. This middle column was awful. And I just have it down to one thing. And it's a new system for my daughter's toys. We don't have a good setup for her toys at all. We really don't have a good place to put them. But even where we have them, like, we don't have like a good toy box. We don't have like, I want to make it more organized looking, you know, better, pleasing to the eye, but then also easier for my daughter to navigate her own toys because they're not. This whole section here, this was all full. I've erased some things off of here on the top, and I just erased something off the bottom. And by the end of this week, I don't know if you can see where I have those arrows drawn. I don't think I can zoom, but I don't know if you can see where I have the arrows drawn. I have a green arrow, and everything I've marked off was where the green arrows were at. And I have one green arrow left, and it's right there. There are 2 items on there, and it is the bottle warmer and the cleaning station. So I still have a cleaning station from when my daughter was little that I still use, but it has changed like over time. The capacity of how I use that has changed over time. Obviously, she's a toddler now, so I just need to totally kind of like overhaul it and get it ready for like the baby and my daughter, what I use it for now. So that is the plan. So this week, and then also set up the bottle warmer because I've changed configuration in my kitchen, and where I had a bottle warmer with my daughter, it's not really going to work there, and I have to rearrange things in my kitchen to get it on the kitchen counter. Now, this is June, and I'm doing September. I realize that is kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but not, because I am trying to get as much stuff done within reason as early as I can. So I feel like that's something we're not going to suffer for that just being set up for this amount of time. I don't feel like. The things with the green arrow stuff was to be completed by mid-June. I have one blue arrow item, and that is to be completed by the end of August, or I mean the end of July. Yeah, the end of July. And the purple arrow items are to be completed by the end of August. So end of August, basically have the whole living room set up with, you know, swing, rocker toys, changing table, like the whole situation that I'm doing in my living room needs to be set up by the end of August. The reason I want that then is because I'm due September 19th. This baby could go at any time. So I say anytime. That sounds weird. They're anticipating me going early. And so just for my own, so my daughter came naturally on her own at 36 weeks. And I'm not planning on that. Don't get me wrong. I hope, you know, at this point now, I hope I don't go over, because I've been so prepared for like an early labor and stuff that like, I hope I don't go overtime. 36 weeks. I hit 36 weeks on August 22nd. So really, I guess basically what my doctor is saying, like any time, you know, any time there I could go. So that's why my latest of what I want to have done is at the end of August. So having the living room completely set up, then I want to have, I mentioned in another video, I'm wanting to attempt cloth diapering, but having my diaper stations set up, no matter whether I cloth diaper, disposable diaper, whatever that looks like, I need my diaper system set up. I want that set up by the end of August as well, so that I can just go to the hospital, have the baby come home, and that's prepared. And then the last thing is Sanitize bottles, pacifiers, and teethers. I don't want to do that too far ahead of time, because then you just have that stuff sitting there even though it's been sanitized. So that's why I have to be doing that at the end of August as well. And I will seal those up. Once I do them, I'll seal them up so that they're not like exposed to anything or whatever also, but I'm just waiting till the end of August to get that done. Aside from that, I'm looking really good on that list in terms of what I wanted to have done. Because I actually erased everything. I think what was on the top of that was to set up all the clothes for the baby. Preemie, newborn, and 0 to 3 month clothes, have them all set up for the baby. That has been done. And the next thing on there is the bottle warmer and the cleaning station, and that will be done by the end of this week. And then the final thing that I crossed off or erased earlier was my postpartum care basket. I will show that in another video. I'm going to do my hospital bag, and then I'm going to show my postpartum care basket later also. That could have obviously waited until later to get done, but I just feel like, again, whatever I can cross off my lists, my to-do lists ahead of time is what I want to do, because I do have things that have to kind of wait until like crunch time till I get that stuff done. So whatever I could get done now. So my postpartum care basket is done. I highly suggest doing that. If you're a new mom and you're watching this video, if you're pregnant and you're watching this video, this was my like #1 advice to my friend. Have your care stuff ahead of time. I did that with my daughter, but I didn't have a good like setup for it. And what I mean by that is like, I mean, and my recovery was different than a lot of people's. So, I just was like struggling a bit, but it wasn't like terrible. And I ended up like having some sort of system. But this time I wanted to create like a basket, something that would just hold everything. If I needed to take care of myself in another bathroom or something like that, I could just take it with me. All my stuff was just kind of scattered around in our master bathroom the first time, and it was okay. It worked. But having something to set your care basket up on top of, so that you're not having to like be sitting on a toilet and bend all the way over to the floor to get your stuff like that, I highly advise it. That was like my #1 thing for my friend, is I'm like, you need to make your postpartum care the easiest that you possibly can for yourself. And so that's why I wanted to give a little more forethought to it. Again, I'll go over that like later, and in another video I'm gonna do a hospital bag video and I'll go over the postpartum care basket as well. So all of this list is looking pretty good. I feel really good about it. I feel like I have a handle on it. I've also been trying to obviously stay up on top of the house itself and do things to just kind of get ready for the baby, do some like deep cleaning. And so I've been just like slowly crossing all that stuff off the list too. Keep up on my weekly cleanings and then pick something that is more like deep cleaning category and do it. And so I feel pretty good about it. The one thing that is on this list that is pretty, I have two pretty invasive things on this list. One is going to require my husband, and the other one is what I don't know if it's going to get done or not. And it's going to require like help from people for sure. And I don't know how I'm going to do it or get it done. What I'm going to need my husband, him and I just to dedicate like a day to doing is going through our file cabinet. This isn't something that necessarily has to be done before I have the baby, but I do think it's better because you just have more time. And then also like you get a lot with like medical records, medical bills, like stuff that it's a good idea to like keep on, you know, and if for reference if you need to. So we just need to go through all that, get rid of what we can get rid of, create some more files. Like I just think it's really important that we do that. Just in general, but it would be nice to get done before we have the baby. The other thing is shampooing our carpets. So in our house, it's all carpeted except for the kitchen and the entryway and the bathroom on the main level. Everything else is carpeted. Our dining room, the area between the entryway and the bathroom, the living room, the bedroom, even the master bathroom, everything is carpeted. And so one of my main stressors, like whenever, like we're in an older home, the carpet's older, I'm not knocking it or whatever. It's just that like when you have a little baby that's like learning to crawl and stuff, you're kind of like, holy cow, that's an old carpet. I do my best to keep it clean, but you know how that goes. So the problem of why I can't just get in here and real quick just like shampoo it is obviously like, think about it. You have to like move big furniture. I can't lift on stuff right now. Anyway, my mom does have a carpet shampooer, so we could either rent one or we could borrow hers. And she even said last night, she goes, do you want me to come shampoo your carpet? And I'm like, well, I appreciate the offer, and I'm not saying no. I'm just saying we have to figure out what that looks like or how that would be done, because I need people to like move the big furniture. Plus, we have to occupy my daughter elsewhere. And it would have to go in stages of, okay, put all the furniture over here, shampoo this, keep her out of that, move all that furniture back, plus the furniture from this area over there, and then do that. So, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, I'm like, yeah, I really want to do it, but I simply don't know if it can be done before this baby's born or not. So, there's all that. The other big items, my grandma has her house up for sale right now. And her and my grandpa lived there for 30 years. That being said, it's not a huge house, okay? It's not. My grandma is so stressed out, or she was, until we did this one room in her house that I kept telling her wasn't that bad. And she kept saying it was, but it literally was not. Me and my mom did this room with interruptions, with a break time, eating dinner and everything in like 4 hours. It wasn't that bad. And again, interruptions, eating dinner. We probably could have had that room done in 2.5 hours. It wasn't bad. But she's overwhelmed by it. The house is not like cluttered at all. It's not overly crowded. It's not like I mean, I try to compare her house to my house and just tell her, like, if you think your house is bad, you're not allowed to come to my house and open any door or cabinet. Like, you're not allowed. I feel like I have more in my upstairs area than my grandma has in her entire house. That being said, it's still a big job. Still in like doing things in our, it would be like mine and my mom and dad's, whatever. Doing the things that are required of us, like in our lives, like our homes, the things that we need to keep up on and take care of, over here. And then still have the time, make the time to go out to her house and go through things. Like, we can only do a little bit at a time, especially me pregnant right now. That's pretty much how I approach everything, is I can only do so much, and then I have to take breaks. Just different things. I can't lift, over like certain amounts, and I just have to be careful, that's all. So I can only do so much. So every like week, if I can, like if there's a day where the weather's not terrible, because I don't want to drive in bad weather, especially like I'm always like that, but being pregnant, I'm just like so much more that way, and I don't know why. I think people would like judge me harshly for that. I don't know what it is. I just am like, well, it's bad weather and I'm pregnant and I would have my daughter with me and I'm just not doing it. So every week, if there's a day where I feel comfortable driving out to my grandma's house, I've been going out and just like, okay, I'm going to take this section and do this. Now, I say that like I've done it a lot. I haven't. The house has only been on the market a little bit, and she's getting some serious bites now. This will be the third week that I will be making an attempt to go out there to do something. So the first week, I went out and I did all her lower kitchen cabinets and then this one shelving unit like on her back porch. So I did that. And I didn't have a lot of time to work in that day either. So I just was like trying to do what I could. So I did that and then I stopped. This last week, me and my mom went, and the first week me and my dad went out there. I did her lower kitchen cabinets in that shelving unit, and my dad started on her garage. My mom and I went out this last week and we did that back room I was talking about. So we did that. So, and my grandma's done like part of one closet, I think. And so my plan is, so this week I'm going to just kind of like pick up. Today I'm just organizing, like with my break times, I'm just organizing my thoughts, what my days look like, fitting in what I can where I can. Like, that's just kind of how I do, especially on a Monday morning. I just kind of recenter, catch up on, like, I make my list of things that I need to do for like the week, break it down by the day. And then I haven't done this yet. I'm gonna go through my planners and catch these up for like the last few days. I reassess this and see what needs to be done when, and add that to, over here, or cross off what's been done. And then like, that's just kind of what I do on Monday mornings. And since I have like extra break time because I got all my weekly cleaning done, I'm just gonna like do some picking up and sprucing up here, upstairs in the loft area, and just kind of taking care of that. I'm gonna take my 25-week picture of myself because we're there now. I don't like my hair like this, so I'm gonna do something else. And then the other thing that I'm going to do, I'm gonna do this right after this video, is I want to get my birth plan together. Because I'm actually, I'll show you this. So this was my list for my postpartum care basket. I've got incontinence pads and cloth pads. Like, I kind of got both of those. Incontinence pads is pretty much like when you go to the hospital, and everybody always, if you are pregnant right now and you've been watching a lot of videos and stuff like that, and if you've been through it before, the hospital gives you like these mesh underwear, and they give you like these huge pads, right? Well, incidentally, on accident, right after I had my daughter, I had run out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need something. So I sent my husband to the store for overnight pads, and obviously a man, like, not knowing how to navigate that aisle, he actually did me a huge favor and got me incontinence pads. He had no idea what he was buying. But if you don't know, especially like in the beginning stages of your postpartum, go and you can get some cheap. Like at Walmart, there's like a pack of, I think it's like 30 incontinence pads or something. So they're big and they're, you know, whatever, for like $11, unless they've went up since my daughter was born. So definitely get you some of those, because that was like a big, you know, lifesaver for me. So, and then cloth pads. I've actually switched to cloth pads and I just like them better. But I think initially, like when I first come home, I think that there's going to be a little too much going on for that. Although they hold more than the regular pads. So I don't know. We'll see. So I want to have both ready, which I do. And then incontinence underwear. So basically, like everybody does talk about that, like your Depends. The Always brand is really good. I found some on Amazon for cheaper than the Always brand. I'm hoping that they're as good as the Always brand, but I don't know. I bought them. Also, Dermaplast is your best friend. Some people are against Dermaplast and they want to do like the all natural. I am not against Dermaplast, but also I really enjoy natural more. So I don't have the herbal mist yet. I want to get some of the herbal mist. That stuff is super expensive. So right now I do have Dermaplast. And I've got that in my postpartum care basket, but like, you know. And then your Peri bottle, which I went ahead and bought a Peri bottle last time, but the hospital gives you one, so I actually have 2 Peri bottles. People do swear by like the Frida Mama or Frida Baby, like whatever that is, that Peri bottle. I kind of would like to get one. I just haven't gotten it yet. But either way, like I have a Peri bottle in there, so I'm considering it done. But if I like happen to get some of these more luxurious items, I'll switch those out. Tux pads. I think the brand I have is like AER or something like that. But anyway, Tux pads are really good. That's just witch hazel pads that you like put in your underwear situation. Anyway, it's just soothing. And so that's really all I have on my postpartum care basket. I don't think I need anything else besides that. I don't think I used anything besides that. Some people will do like the pad sickles and stuff. I never, because I went early and stuff, I never actually ended up making the pad sickles. There's some that you can buy pre-made, but like my cousin had made the pad sickles, and I don't think she ever used any, maybe one. But to be fair, I was in the hospital for 5 days, and they actually made like these ice packs out of diapers, and I sat on those. So I don't really know. I might make a couple of pad sickles and put in the freezer. Like, I just haven't got to that point yet, so because I don't know how long I'll be in there. And then my hospital bag checklist. I'm not going to go over all this because I am doing a separate video for the hospital bag and the postpartum. But right now, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have that. I just need to put it in there. 6, 7, 8 things. Oh, and I need to update this because I have added a couple more things for the baby. So I think I just have like 8 things that are not on here yet. And then I'm going to also pack, I have added a couple other things. So I may have like, maybe like 11 things I haven't put in my bag yet. But I feel like for just early June, we're early June. I just feel like for early June, I'm doing pretty well on getting this together, just getting all this stuff together. But again, I'm going to go through, I think a birth plan is pretty important. And I did one, where is it? This is the one that I did. If you go on, is it the Bump? Baby Center. If you go on Baby Center, like if you have the Baby Center app and you go to tools, there are birth preferences on there. You just select your preferences and it actually makes a PDF and you can print it out. You can email it and you can print it out. So that's what I did. But then this one is the Bump. I also went on, this birth plan is a lot more involved. I haven't even read over it all yet. But I am going to go through and make this one out. Just because, and then I'll select whichever one I think is more applicable, and then I will, I'll put this in my hospital bag. my birth plan was not followed the first time, but like pretty much everybody ignored it. That was really annoying. But everything you see online, like nurses and stuff, they always say like, don't be like married to your birth plan, because obviously your labor can go different than you plan on it going. Obviously it can, yes, but it is good to have one. And so I really hope my care team this time is more respectful or more like open to my birth plan. My one nurse that came in and she like helped deliver, she basically delivered my daughter. She was wonderful. She did not ignore my birth plan. She respected it, and I appreciated that. Everyone else on the staff could not give a rip less about my about my birth plan. But I do think it's important not only to have it like on you, to put in your hospital bag, to like, so that everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows kind of how, what you think about things. I do think that that's important, but also I think it's important because when you do a birth plan ahead of time, it makes you think about things that you would not have otherwise thought about and made decisions about. And that's pretty important because when you are in the hospital, you're asked a lot of spur of the moment questions, and you're not really in the shape to make that educated decision. Sometimes, I mean, you're in labor, you know, and so people start throwing questions at you that you have not had the forethought to, like, even, like, I don't know how I feel about any of it. Like, I don't care, you know, and you may not care. You may just be in the spur of the moment and say, whatever, this, blah, 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 and then not ever have any thoughts, second thoughts about it. But I'm just saying, it's nice to be prepared ahead of time, and those make you think. They make you either research it and make an educated decision, or they make you aware that that's something that you will be asked, or something like something that you need to have an opinion on, I guess is what I should say. Because there's a lot of times, especially with my daughter, stuff would come up and I'm like, what do you mean? So that was where the birth plan came very much in handy. So those are the things that I'm going to be doing today. That's what's been going on. I think I did an update about my teeth. We're good there. I don't have to have my root canal pulled. So that's just kind of what's been going on. It's been very, very busy. And I am excited and hopeful because I want to be able to kind of relax and enjoy my third trimester. I've been doing anything but relaxing. You know, people always talk about, oh yeah, I was pregnant and I took these naps, and I would just like relax in bed or relax on the couch, and I would do this, this, and this. That has not been my experience, but it's okay because this is part of my plan, because I know what the third trimester is like. I mean, and I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm just saying you're bigger. It's harder to do things. So like for me, I feel like I would rather be more productive now and trying to get as much stuff done as I can now. And hopefully in the third trimester, I can not only feel better about it, but I can actually just like relax more. It's going to be hard because I have a toddler, like, hello. But I can just kind of relax a little bit more and not feel bad about it, or not hose myself. Like that's kind of what happened last time, is like I never hit the nesting period, and the third trimester was just rough on me, and so a lot of things went undone. And so a lot of times I find that my mental health is better. Everything about me is better if I can have my things done and be like, that's what I say about going to my grandma's. Like, not that I wouldn't do it anyway, but if I stay up on top of the stuff at my house, then I don't feel like overwhelmed because I have so much to do, you know? And so that's how I feel like I'll be in my third trimester. Like if I'm just sitting there relaxing, there's nothing to feel bad about. Like I've taken care of everything. I've done it for myself. Like I'm doing this for myself kind of thing. But everybody looks at it different. Again, this is my second experience. You know, I'm doing this for me based off my experience before, but everybody has different ones. So that's just the update on me. That's what's going on. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for listening to me, blah, blah. Stay tuned because I have another video coming on Wednesday, and that is when we will do the 25-week update and bump date, and also what happened at the ultrasound and the doctor's appointment. So I'm very anxious. I'm very excited for that tomorrow. So stay tuned there. We'll talk to you later. Bye.